Hey guys, AlphaFish here. Welcome back to my channel and another Lords Mobile video. Today we will be talking about speed gear. It's just something that I just kind of randomly thought of, and whenever I made it I realized that, dude, I should have done this a long time ago, right? Um, it's pretty easy to make, and if you've watched my other videos on making war gear and what war gear I use, it doesn't, like, the materials that you need for the speed gear does not, like, affect how fast you put together the gear set that I have for trapping. Um, I'll go ahead and show you what the set is here. Now, the offhand here and this first accessory, these are both hunting items, like hunting gear pieces. I got the materials for these from doing Guildfest just over time, because you can get the hunter's chest, but you don't get very many of them. So you don't. It's hard to build a full set of that. So I just kind of have that thrown in here. Plus the movement speed really helps. It helps with your hunting. So movement speed assists anything that leaves your castle and goes somewhere. So troops, it affects hunting, it affects um, gatherings, gather like gathering troop travel speed. It also affects if you're sending resources to a guild member, anything like that. Anytime you're sending troops outside of your castle. So right now it's Lord's Ball. If you like to play Lord's Ball, this might be something you might want to invest in. And not every one of these pieces has movement speed, because some, like the chest piece, I couldn't find a movement speed chest piece that I could just throw on there. So my movement speed pieces is, of course, this one. The electric lance has 9.5% travel speed at purple. Some of these I don't have to gold because I don't have the resources to do it. A good chunk of the speed gear is Noceros items. So you have to have Noceros materials, which takes a little longer to get everything to gold, seeming that you're sharing the resources amongst, like, multiple pieces, right? So it takes a little bit of time to do that. So you have another 9.5 at purple. And then these boots, I managed to get lucky on a drop opening some chests, and I got a gold bloodsucker. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. The material. Yeah, I ended up getting a gold bloodsucker, so I was able to get these boots to purple based on that and then what I had already used or had before that. So whenever I got the purple or the gold bloodsucker, my immediate thought is, okay, perfect, what can I do with it? And I started looking through the gear that you can make with the bloodsuckers, and I noticed the 19% travel speed at purple, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can build a travel speed set, you know? So that's kind of what I did. So 19% travel speed at purple. This is probably the hardest piece to level up or to upgrade from what I've seen so far. And then the ivory chokers can be kind of a pain, because you use these pieces for the boots that I was just showing you, but you don't need the bloodsuckers for it. So they do give 8% travel speed at gold. So it's not like you're losing a lot, but it's a good little chunk of travel speed, especially if you put 3 of them in here. But obviously, I only have 2 because I'm using a horn for increased attack damage or hunting damage. So, overall, my travel speed with the current gear set is 48%, which It's a decent amount. I mean, if I go like 10 minutes out, or not 10 minutes, 10 miles out of my castle to hunt, I get about an increase of like 15 to 20 seconds, which is pretty decent. Like, that's a good chunk. So you don't really notice it really close, but when you're having to walk further away, or even for those hunting monsters like Death Knight, I think, no, that's the hero. Is it Dark Knight? I think it's Dark Knight. And then you have like the Easter Bunny that you hunt, Huey hops. So stuff like that, you'll notice a bigger difference with travel speed depending on how close you are to your target. You can also use this for rallies. So if you're attacking other people, or if you're attacking a dark nest, what you can do is you equip this, and then once your rally marches, you can switch over to your damage gear, your attack gear. So it does work. You can apply your damage stats as long as your gear is equipped before your leader hits, before the rally with your leader in it hits the target. So I found this set to be very useful. I can use it just about anything, and I really like it a lot. And that's kind of why I made a video on it, even though no one's really questioned me about my speed gear. And I've noticed that a lot of the players that have speed gear are these massive pay-to-play. Yeah, that's my crested gecko. His daylight just kicked on. But a lot of these big players that spend money have these gear sets because they have money for material chests to build multiple sets of gear. But I found a way to make something that's decent. It's not necessarily pay-to-play, top-notch, because I'm free-to-play. But like, it's pretty decent. Like, it works. I like it. So I hope you guys try this out and build something of your own to speed up your troops, especially if you unlock Tier 3 for the first time, or if you're unlocking Tier 4. It never hurts to have a little bit of extra speed in there, especially if you're sending leaderless marches. It doesn't matter if you have attack gear on or not, but travel speed is not a leader stat. So if you think about it, you don't need your leader to have this affect your marches, right? Because it's not a deployable leader stat. It's a regular stat. So if you have this gear equipped and your hero's taken, you're still gonna get the travel speed boost. So I didn't even think of that till now. But this travel speed is not a deployable stat. It is a passive stat. So it is always there if your leader gets taken, if you're not using your leader to send a march or send resources, which you can't use your leader to send resources anyway, but even to like tiles, right? You send troops to tiles, you don't need your leader to have this speed boost with the gear. So you just throw it on and boom, you have increase. If you like Dragon Arena and you have to reinforce across the map, dude, right here, it'll save you some winged boots. I'm telling you, it's useful. Alright, so get your stuff figured out, get your gear figured out, and whatever materials you're not using for your attack gear or your trap gear or whatever you're doing, start getting these pieces upgraded, man. You don't even have to. Don't worry about my gems here. Don't worry about these gems. This is from an old build that I used to do that I don't really use anymore, and I just don't want to waste the chisels to remove the gems. But I don't really use that gear set anymore. But that's why I have the jewels in there. But these jewels are not putting into like travel speed. I believe these hunter jewels that I have are I think they have a bit of travel speed, but it's only for hunters. Yeah, Swift Hunter Jewel. See, it has a little bit of hunting speed. which my other one's blue and this one's green. I'll show you. These are really hard to get, and I've just, over the years, I've gotten really lucky on finding these. And you can see I don't have very many of them, and I've never gotten very many of them because I only have two. One's at blue, one's green. So they don't really add much, but they add a little bit. So I just kind of threw them in there just for the heck of it because, you know, why not? But yeah, speed gear, guys. Good investment. Definitely good investment. You're not wasting your time building this, alright? Don't worry about my chest piece. I don't even think there is a movement chest piece. I don't think there is. We're going to go look. We're going to go look. Just to be on the safe side here. So, let's... Oh yeah, I have to select something. Or is it travel speed? I think it's really far down. Isn't it? No. Here we go. Travel speed. Okay. So as you can see, the saber fang has almost like a full set of hunting gear or travel speed gear. But the problem is that those bloodsuckers are a pain to get. So I threw all the bloodsuckers I had into the highest travel speed percentage gear I could get, which was the boots. So that's why I did that. And then, as you can see, the Nesteros mask at, like, completely maxed out has 21%, which is pretty decent. But even if you get it, it's just purple, it's 9.5. It's a good chunk. It's worth it. And then the Saberfang set also has a chest piece, which is technically a shoulder cuff, but, you know, whatever. But I don't have enough bloodsuckers for that. So this is what you see a lot of the pay-to-play players using is all of this gear, and they're attacking people using cavalry, full cav attacks because they have the speed gear plus the so cavalry is like the fastest troops if you have this gear equipped, and they do a decent amount of damage. That's why a lot of pay-to-play players will use cavalry, but that's why I teach you guys to use range, right? So. You look at my other videos for that, but boots, you have a few options, but if you're free to play, guess what? You don't really have any options, unless you get some bloodsuckers, man. Unless you get some bloodsuckers. Look, 42%, which is the highest piece of Saberfang, right here. Alright, so if you happen to get lucky and get a golden bloodsucker, right here, buddy, Untamed Boots, go for it. If you want to invest it into speed gear. As far as your main hand, of course, you have another piece of Saberfang, and then you have the Electric Lance for free to play. It's a pretty good amount of travel speed, like even at gold, 15%. I mean that's definitely worth getting, right? Definitely. I mean that's. Look at this. It equals. It's the same as the Saberfang piece, 15%. But it probably varies here. Nope, it's the same. So Electric Lance definitely if you're only wanting travel speed, is definitely the cheaper option. And then there isn't an offhand for this. And then, of course, the Ivory Choker is your only option for accessories for this gear set. But, as I said, it's useful, especially when you're doing Dragon Arena or you're playing Lord's Ball or anything like that, dude. So, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something today, and make your own little sets of speed gear and try it out, because it's definitely not a waste of time at all. Like, you're going to benefit from that greatly. Alright? So, stay safe, guys. Peace out.